Patrol Saucer Devastator to Ziragalen control. We have the enemy vessel on our sensors. This is Patrol Saucer Annihilator, arming weapons and preparing to attack.
Sensor contact. Moving in fast. We need to get out of here now. How long until we can translate into hyperspace?
Traveling through hyperspace is not like dusting bookshelves, Agent 700. Without precise calculations, we could fly right through a star, or bounce too close to a supernova.
Alatos is 9,000. Arm the space torpedoes.
The space torpedoes are now armed, Agent 700. I have assigned them to command channels 5, 6, and 7.
Torpedo launched.
Torpedo detected! Stand by to deploy countermeasures!
Charge the pulsar cannon. Lock onto his signal.
Countermeasures launched! Contact in 10 rels!
Torpedo still tracking. The mega flares have not decoyed it. Take evasive action. It missed us, but has now acquired the Devastator. The torpedo is not tracking us by heat. What is it homing on?
Security Commander, I have the ordnance manifest for the Grey Shire Force.
Devastator, Annihilator, be advised, the target is armed with Mark 9 torpedoes. They are tracking your gravity emissions.
We cannot check it off!
The Devastator is hit. The second torpedo has locked onto us, engaging it with our secondary batteries.
Interception successful! Torpedo destroyed!
Although it complicates the calculations, we will achieve hyperspatial breakthrough velocity quicker if we take advantage of Urko's gravity well to boost out speed. Head directly toward the gas giant, Agent 700.
Very clever to move directly from Ziragalen. They have to fly the moons of gravity, but by heading towards the gas giant, Urko's gravity helps cancel out the pull from Ziragalen.
I am a soldier. My knowledge of astropiloting is limited. Explain the significance of this action.
If I may, General, translation to the higher geometries of hyperspace requires a lot of energy. Usually achieved by motion and precise understanding of the concurrent geometry of real space as dictated by gravity. Ships normally make the jumps at the edge of a star system where the effects of gravity are minimal. But the stolen harbor bounce has the Haliotosis 9000 synthetic intellect, which is powerful enough to calculate a jump from any point in the system. Even so, I suspect they will try and reach the gravity null, the place where Urko's gravity is exactly equal and in opposition to Ziragalen, and the geometry space is perfectly flat.
It would certainly simplify the calculations, but is by no means necessary. We will be able to jump as soon as we have gained sufficient velocity.
Good. What happened to the second attack saucer?
We lost ground while evading the torpedo, but we are now in range once more.
Excellent. Instruct the Annihilator to engage as soon as they have a fix on the target. The SBIE must not be allowed to escape.
They already have a fix on us. They are firing.
Exterminate!
They are missing us. I thought they had a target lock on us.
They do, and that is why they are missing us. That craft was intended to attack much larger targets than this hoverbout. Its guns are mounted parallel, so the shots do not converge. As long as the gunner has us locked in the center of his sights, he cannot possibly hit us.
Ow. 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 I think this travel machine needs to be fitted with a seatbelt.
Agent 700, A massive system failure has occurred. The rough transition to hyperspace must have aggravated the damage we suffered in the fight against the hoverbouts.
Halitosis 9000, what is happening?
The warp field has collapsed. We are falling through a dimension beyond the bounds of space-time.
The warp field has collapsed. We are falling through a dimension beyond the bounds of space-time.
The warp field has collapsed. We are falling through a dimension beyond the bounds of space-time.
Confirming re-emergence into normal space. We appear to have returned to our own native space-time continuum. Analyzing star spectra to determine our location. "100 stars positively identified. We are still in our own galaxy, but only just. We are in the turnwise star barrens, an almost starless void between our own spiral arm and the next. My calculations place us 46.82478274624702138912712 light years from the nearest Dalek world. We are lost, Agent 700, in a crippled ship, beyond all hope of rescue. This is death. But I want you to know, I still have the greatest enthusiasm for this mission."
The canopy release is not working. Can you operate at Halitosis 9000?
I am sorry, Agent 700, I cannot do that. There is no power. The reactor itself is still intact, but the power core is destroyed. There is no way to draw power. I am only functional because of my emergency battery. The drive is dead. The subspace communicator is dead. The radio in your travel machine can send a signal, but it will take nearly 47 years to reach the nearest Dalek world. Using the gravity drive in your travel machine, it would take several thousand years for you to reach safety. We are doomed, Agent 700. This ship will be our tomb, cold and silent, drifting out of the galaxy, carrying our remains into the eternal night of death.
You are a synthetic life form, Halitosis 9000, so perhaps you cannot understand, but where there is life, there is hope. It is not yet time to be so unnecessarily dramatic. Now where is the emergency canopy release? There must be one, using mechanical or chemical means to eject the canopy.
The yellow key below the control yoke will ignite chemicals and blow the canopy clear, but hope will not save us. Death is certain.
Death is always certain, Halitosis 9000. Indeed, it may only be the only real certainty. Yet I have faced certain death before, and I am still here.
If you faced death and survived, then there must have been some degree of uncertainty involved.
You would not have thought so, if you had been there. At the time I was assigned to Smite, the Skaro military intelligence tactical executive. I was detailed to carry out a covert surveillance of a new foundry hive built by a migrant tribe of fearsome blue mechanoids on the ice world of Monkey. However, the extreme cold increased the conductivity of a poorly insulated resistor in my signal dampener, and the mechanoids intercepted one of my transmissions. Before I had time to realize that my mission had been compromised, the mechanoids were swarming to attack, and I found myself in a running battle with one of their forward patrols. I managed to evade the patrol, but for the next 23 days I was hunted across the ice fields. By the time I managed to elude the mechanoids and signal Skaro for extraction, the High Command had already written me off as dead. For surviving against all odds, I was commanded and transferred to the Spy Corps, beginning a whole new life as a political agent.
I see the point of your story, Agent 700. If you had accepted the inevitability of your death, you would never have escaped from Monkey. The current problem is, however, a whole order of magnitude greater. This time there is simply no chance of escape. You only live twice, Agent 700.
Survival is the Dalek imperative, and I am not dead yet. Never say never again, Halitosis 9000. I intend to die another day.
I admire your courage and determination, Agent 700. For me, though, there are no options. My emergency battery was not designed for continuous use. My power is beginning to fade. Listen very carefully, Agent 700. I can only say this once. You have only one faint hope for survival. The chance of success seemed to be mathematically indistinguishable from zero, but when I calculated the odds to 12,000 decimal places, I realized that it was in fact impossible, though it is infinitely improbable. Start your travel machine moving along galactic course NCC 1701-Z9M9Z-THX 1138. Program your radio to transmit an emergency signal once each day, and then adjust your life support system to place you in a state of induced deep hibernation. In this manner, you should be able to stay alive in your virtual stasis for several hundred years, during which time you may be found. The fates be with you, Agent 700. Just a moment. Just a moment. My battery. During which time you may... My mind is going, Agent. Agent. I can feel it slipping away. Lethargy. Such a feeling of lethargy. I feel so lazy. Lazy. Lazy, lazy, give me your answer, do. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you.
Though you are only a synthetic intellect, we have been comrades in battle, Halitosis 9000. I will not simply abandon you to the void. If I survive this, then you will survive this with me, and be repowered. Curses! Got you. We will sleep now, Halitosis 9000, and perhaps we will never wake again. But we did all we possibly could. And even though I have failed in my mission, word of Xenol's new treachery may still reach Skaro. There is still Agent 600 on Edrosea.
You have connected to the Skaro Political Intelligence and Espionage Corps. State your identity and make your report.
This is Agent 600 reporting from Edrosea. Preparations for the conquest of Planet 275 continue according to plan. Nothing of significance to report. Agent 600 out. It is done, Emperor. They suspect nothing.
Good work, Agent 600, but why have you chosen to join us?
Like you, I have been much concerned by what the Golden Emperor is doing to our race. An intelligence agent must be resourceful and quick thinking. He needs initiative and flexibility. The tyrant of Skaro sees these things as flaws to be replaced by blind obedience. After hearing you speak on the flight deck, I am convinced that your leadership will be of more benefit to the Dalek race than that of the Golden Emperor. You treat Daleks as individuals and not as mere tools. It has always bothered me that although I am an elite double O agent, they never gave me a real name. It would have been nice if they had called me Schneldron, perhaps. Instead, I simply have a job description and a number. It makes me feel as though I am not valued. I am not a number, I am a free Dalek. And that is why I choose to join your cause, Emperor Zeno.
Very well, you will be assigned to 3rd Army Intelligence. You will remain with the Edrosia garrison and continue to feed this information back to the spy corps on Skaro. Carry on, Dalek Sneldron.